Welcome, everyone. We are your landlords, flooding out and tapping out so that you don't have to with the occasional screw. I'm HamHawks42, joined by the one and only Astralsflame. Astros, how you doing, bud?
I'm pretty good, but they should change my name. It's actually going to be Vacation Flame in another 5 days.
Heck yes. Oh my goodness. It's happening. It's coming up. We're going to get there. I know, right?
It's gonna be exciting.
Ways of traveling through like airport security and then getting stuck in traffic jam, having to pay for Ubers and Lyfts. I can't wait. It's gonna be the greatest.
Those random security pat downs, the smell of the stagnant air, the coughing on the plane, and that delicious chicken and/or pasta that is probably going to give you bowel movement issues for a good couple days after the flight. The things we enjoy and what we do for Magic the Gathering.
100%. My absolute favorite is the joy of getting the middle seat next to the crying baby and
Yes.
sweaty person. Oh, it's the best.
It's the great.
Yeah. No, it's truly the best. I gotta say, if you haven't had the opportunity to, fly, these friendly skies or whatever, I don't know what the.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Travel, yay! At the end of the day, though, like it's one of we complain about the inconveniences. The reality is, I'm going to be traveling from Southern Michigan to Las Vegas in the course of 4.5 hours. And I'm going to literally be catapulted through the sky in a perfectly safe way and arrive at a place hundreds of miles from where I started in just a couple hours. You know, to be real, that's pretty rad, and it's something we just get to take it for granted. So, anyway, but I guess I suppose that means it's pretty evident what we're going to be talking about today, what our listing is.
Yeah, I like
MagicCon Vegas.
We do the MagicCon. The premiere, the up and lights, the dancing thing. I don't know. It's the big event that things are happening, things are coming together. Content creators from all over the world, players, the World Championships. We are going to be in the location this year because, like, if I remember, were we recording last year at World Championships? I don't think so.
I don't think we were.
No, but
I think we started shortly after the World Championship.
Yeah,
but yes. Yeah.
Is this been a year of Landlords?
Has it been a full year? I don't think it's been a full year yet, but
it's got to be close.
We're coming up on it, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We'll need to look back at what the anniversary of the first episode was.
Yeah,
but we'll figure that out. But this World Championship, it's going to be standard, which we just had Wilds of Eldraine drop, so the pros have had some opportunities to experiment and tinker with some things, and so it's going to be very interesting to see what they bring. And there's the question that I'm definitely enticed about. Not that we necessarily talk about Pro Magic a ton here, but it is going to be happening, and it is going to be something that's going on. I am very curious to see if Nathan Stoyer can repeat.
Ooh.
I mean, like, I don't think we've ever seen that, and the reality is, like, in the last year, he has consistently been dominant, including winning one of the Pro Tours. So, like,
it's true.
Dude's on a just on a hot streak, unlike anything we've seen before, to the point where I am very confident we will look back and have him considered as one of the greatest of all time. Middle of the run right now. So it's I can't help but wonder, like, is it going to happen? I'm also, I can't wait to see what deck he brings.
That is true. Or, like, a lot of the players of what they're going to bring. Because, like, last year's diversity was so sweet. Like, I remember we even had that one-off Jund Reanimator. I am, like, fingers crossing it is going to be such a huge. It was.
Dude, you got it. Yeah.
But
yeah, the field last year, a whole bunch of people were on Esper. That was like the one that everybody knew. And Nathan Stoyer and like two of his teammates, I think, were like, no, I think Grixis is pretty good, you guys. And then, like, sure enough, completely trounced the competition with it. And I was like, okay, yeah, it turns out Grixis was pretty good. And that Grixis deck ended up actually seeing a couple of bans shortly thereafter. Because honestly, it was just that deck was absolutely nuts, and he saw it before anybody else, or he was one of the players really championing it and proved to the world that it's legit. So I can't wait to see what deck is live in standard right now that maybe can step up from obscurity to the point where everybody's sick of it in a couple months following the World Championship. I'm excited to see. Who knows? Maybe that crazy, goofy Invasion of Alara deck that people are playing, maybe that's a real thing. And, like, maybe that's going to see play at the World Championship. I don't know, but I want to see. I'm very excited.
I would love to see that deck. I mean, having personally played it, it's a lot of fun. And there's a lot of interesting ways you can take it. Like as long as you've got the main combo, effectively what happens for those that may not know. Invasion of Alara, when it enters in, you exile cards from the top of your library until you exile 2 cards that are 4 mana value or less. You pop your deck with only Bramble Familiar and sometimes 1 Go for the Throat. So you are guaranteed to hit a Bramble Familiar. When you do this, you can actually cast the 7 mana Fetch Quest version of Bramble Familiar. You're going to mill, I think it's 7 cards, and then you can put an enchantment, land, creature, or artifact reveal that was milled this way into play, one of them only. Most times this will get you like an Atraxa, it might get you an Italian, it might get you a free Leyline Binding. At best case, it gets you the real combo, Cemetery Desecrator. You can exile a card from a Graveyard Desecrator of like mana value 7 and actually remove up to 7 counters on something, which if you do it right, lets you instantly flip the Invasion of Alara. So not only have you Invasion gotten a free cast of a spell, gotten a free creature, but then you've casted and flipped the Invasion, drawn some card, made some copies, probably put an artifact into play, and just deck's crazy.
Yeah. Well, in Awaken the Maelstrom, the backside of the Invasion of Alara, it says part of what you're doing is destroy a permanent an opponent controls. It's any permanent. I have definitely used it to blow up the planes that my opponent had an ossification attached to. It is great. And if you're doing that when your opponent only has 3 or 4 lands down, that is backbreaking. So it's very easy to run away with the game if you can set that combo up. And I find it really fascinating how closely that combo mirrors what people were doing in Modern like a year or 2 ago with Cascade into Tybalt, or Valky, God of Lies, and being able to free cast the backside. Well, they changed the way the Cascade works, specifically to make sure that that doesn't work. But fortunately for us, the Invasion of Alara does not have Cascade, so it still totally works. It's just a very Cascade-like ability, but it doesn't have that safeguard in there, so you can free cast 7-drops off it. It's ridiculous. And yeah, I pulled out that combo as well. And it's funny because it feels like when you're doing it, it feels like goofy jank, but the reality is you're spending 5 mana and you're generating just the amount of value you get off that your opponent just can't deal with. I jammed a couple of games with it just to see like, okay, is this deck for real? And I went 4 out of 5. And like the only one I lost, I had kind of a greedy keep and I was going up against mono red. It was like, all right, fair enough. But like, and that was in best of 1. It's just that when you do the thing, the deck just wins. It's shocking. So is it kind of a meme, or are the pros going to come packed ready to go to deal with it? With ways to prevent ETBs from going off, ways to counter it on the stack. Because that's the thing. If your opponent has a Make Disappear or Spell Stutter when you throw the Invasion, and it just cuts it off at the knees and you're just done. So it is not, if you know it's coming and you set up interaction for it, you can disrupt it pretty easily. It's just a lot of people on the ladder just don't see it coming and aren't ready for it. And so you can kind of get away with it on Arena still, for the moment. If it ends up being a legit deck, I have a feeling we're going to see people teched against it, and we're going to find ways to prevent it. So, I don't know. I can't wait to see what the pros do. But that said, I've been to a couple Magic Cons this year, and my experience is always, wow, I wish I had more time to do everything I want to do. And the Pro Tour, watching the Pro Tours, or in this case, the World Championship, is definitely part of that. But I know I'm going to be spending a whole lot of time hanging out with, well, maybe even you, dear listener, and definitely you, Astrals. I know we're gonna make a point of hanging out.
We have to. I mean, there's no choice.
Yeah, I'm about to say we're gonna be like live and in person. It'd be silly not to, right? Yeah, and I'm planning jamming as many games as I could possibly stand. Yeah, I want to be like tapping lands in my dreams for the 3 hours of sleep that weekend that I actually sleep. It's gonna be wild, man. I can't wait. Yeah. No, and yeah, and it's funny. You're gonna actually see how short I am in person. By the way, fun fact, listeners and viewers, if you've only seen me on my streams or on my YouTube channel, you may not realize just how like tiny, but I'm not very big. Like, anyway.
Wait, whoa. How tall are you?
I'm about 5 feet 8 inches. About 5'8".
Wait, what?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Dude,
let me get the conversion to
My mind is blown. I thought you were like 6'2".
No. Yeah. No, I'm 5'8", and that equates to about 172 centimeters for folks who are yeah. Or
Huh.
anyway, yeah,
Here,
NVIDIA's got
here, here.
1.7. Yep.
So here I thought I'd be looking up.
No,
See, I'm
you're gonna be
six
looking down big
feet.
time. Yeah. No, you got four. You got a head on me, man. You got a good 4 inches on me, no question. Yep. Yeah. So that's a thing. That's
Fair.
yeah. So
S-
yeah,
Oh,
it's
streamer.
mhm,
That's the streamer perception. I swear.
exactly. But
People who are tall
I
seem
do
short.
have.
Oh,
I know, right? But I do have legs. I can confirm, even though very few people have actually seen them compared to everybody else. But you will in Vegas, and I will even be wearing pants,
oh
which is
snap.
not normally a given. So that's gonna be nice. Yeah, I don't want to be escorted out of the venue. That'd be bad. So
That might be something, but yeah.
yeah, it'll be a little something. But anyway, but I know that definitely going to be. My plan is to spend as much time as humanly possible hanging out with other lovers of the game. It's easy to focus on the other content creators. It's very easy to kind of like make a point of spending time with the other creators because they're the faces we know. You know, we've played webcam commander games with a lot of these people. We've, you know, shot tweets back and forth. We're trying to be part of the conversation that they're also part of. So obviously we have friendships, we have connections. But the reality is, like, so in Minneapolis, I met a ton of awesome, YouTubers, podcasters, streamers, a ton of like people I consider kind of my colleagues, or a lot of people I also just genuinely look up to in a really big way, and got a chance to meet a bunch of them and play games with many of them.
Heck
But
yeah.
one of the biggest highlights that I had in Minneapolis is I was in the arena area. You know, they had an arena booth, and I was hanging out there, and I was chatting with Krim and Voxy, and Power Dragon was there too. So
Nice.
yeah, and we were just kind of being in the space, and somebody came up to get their picture, I think, with Voxy, and I stepped back to get out of the shot, and he looked over at me and was like, "Oh no, Hamhocks, get in here!" And I was like, you
Yo.
you know who I am? Like, what? It was this really surreal experience. And it was just like, wait a minute. You're getting your picture taken with Power Dragon, Krim, the Asian Avenger, Voxy, and me? Like, I make that cut? Shut up, dude. No way.
The
So
tier
that was
has been set.
that was one of my biggest takeaways. So viewers, listeners, members of our audience, if you're like, or either, however, who the heck we are, if you recognize us, come say hi. Cause I'm not gonna, Astros, I'm not speaking for you here, but I know for me, I got into the content creation game not quite 4 years ago now.
Hmm?
I'm still very much trying to establish myself as a part of this community. And a little bit of connection goes a long way,
Oh,
and it means
absolutely
a lot.
does.
So, and that goes for all of your favorite creators out there, by the way. If you see them, don't think, oh, I'm sure they've been swamped with fans all day, no matter who they are. Like, even just coming up and just saying, hey, I love what you do, or hey, could you sign this, whether it's a playmat or a card or whatever, like, it makes a huge difference. Even the folks who do get it all the time, I'm sure it's still meaningful, and it's still very humbling, and I don't know, it's great. We want to connect with all of you. That's why we do it. So, yeah.
Magic is called the gathering for the reason, and I think MagicCon is going to be no exception to a huge gathering. Like,
100%.
I am just so excited to actually get to one because I went to a couple Magic events last year, but they were not like Magic Con. They were like I went to
Mhm.
MTG Summit. I did a Command Fest in
Okay.
Montreal. I'm actually really excited that I get to go down and see everyone that I didn't get a chance to see last year. I'm like so thrilled for that. It's just like I get to see everyone that I haven't gotten the chance to either meet yet or play with yet or anything. Like so much Commander's gonna happen.
Oh my goodness,
So
yes.
much Commander.
Oh, also, if you see me out there and you don't have a commander deck, but you want to get a game in, just let me know. I'm going to be bringing like a dozen. So yeah, it's going to happen. So if you want to borrow a deck, I got you. No worries. Yeah,
So what you're saying is when
seriously.
you and I play a game, we each need to swap with each other's decks?
I'm not mad at that idea, honestly. That could be a lot of fun.
Going completely blind, I'll tell you nothing about the deck except the commander, and you got to figure it out from there.
Hey, you know what? My favorite deck, my signature deck, is helmed by a dragon. So
You're in a good spot then. You're in a good spot.
I know, right? And I think you'd appreciate, and even two of it's Abzan, so you have to put up with white. But
I,
anyway.
Arena and Magic like to taunt me that and as enough. Although, at least
Mhm.
lately, this month said that my favorite color is red. So finally, some accuracy. I'm
I
breaking
know,
the
right?
lies.
I find it so funny too. Like my stats show my favorite color is black, and the reality is it is. It always it has been. Like most of my commander decks have black in them. I absolutely adore it. The thing is, right now in standard, I'm very tired of the mono black package.
Hmm.
You know, four cut down, four go for the throat, three Sheoldred, four graveyard trespasser. We all know it. We've been playing against it for months at this point. If not actually like the better part of a year. And
It's
I'm
yeah, at
just
least a year.
I'm ready to be done with it. Like, yeah, because Sheoldred came out. Sheoldred and Cut Down came out last. What was it? Last September. Yeah,
I
no, it's
think
been
so.
about a
Yeah,
year.
yeah. It's been about a year.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, yay. Like I'm ready to be done with that. And like I express frustration about that deck all the time. To the point where actually Aaron Ephilly was giving me a hard time on
Of course
Twitter
you
when I
would.
shared my stats. She was like, "Oh, I see what color you're playing," because she plays mono black quite a bit. Like it's definitely her niche. It's kind of her thing.
Oh yeah, it's
And
definitely her.
which it works for her. So and when you're competing on the ladder, it's the strongest color. So play it. Like it makes sense. Like there's no reason not to. The reality is though, a lot of my like goofy 3-color decks include black.
Hmm.
And as a result, I end up playing a lot of, because I'm that dumpy guy who's playing Sultai in the current standard, There was a time when that
Respect.
deck was great. That was a long time ago. It's fun. Yeah, exactly. But it's not great, And so anyway, I've been doing a lot of that nonsense and yeah, doing a lot of weird janky stuff. And black tends to be a core component of it with things like Cruelty of Gix, Breach the Multiverse, Lich Knight's Conquest more recently.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, all those decks have black in them. They just do. And so it's one of those things where it's like I'm not trying to hide that I like black. I just hate the mono black deck. Anyway, it's
I've got good news for you
quite funny.
though.
Oh yeah,
That
what
deck
you got?
has changed. See,
What?
no more is it just like cut down Tenacious Underdog, Gix' command, and all that stuff. No, now that deck is gonna be. I believe the enchantment is the 1-mana Hopeless Enchantment, right?
Yeah,
So
Hopeless
now,
Nightmare or whatever.
yeah,
Yep.
so we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
Hopeless Nightmare, and then we're gonna Candy Grapple, and then we're gonna Lord Skitter, and then we're gonna Beseech the Mirror, which still
And what
equates
do we get
to
with Beseech the Mirror?
She
And
Holder, of course. But you see, it's different. See, Lord Skitter is not Graveyard Trespasser, despite it eating stuff from the graveyard.
Sure.
Hopeless Nightmare is not cut down, though it does force a removal on a card from hand. Candy Grapple is not Go for the Throat, though it is a removal spell. And
Of
Beseech
course,
the
of
Mirror is
course.
just whatever you want in the deck.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing about Beseech the Mirror is they gave us. I mean, obviously, it's a free way to tutor up Sheoldred and just put it on the battlefield. But they also brought the end with this
Yeah.
set, which is like one of the strongest pieces of removal. It happens to also be a fantastic Beseech target. Like,
So
cool.
good.
This is,
Yeah, let me just Beseech and then exile something, and then, all your Atraxos are gone, all your She-Holders are gone. Perfect.
that's why, fellow Reanimator enthusiasts out there, diversify your threats. That is very important, because if your opponent exiles your Atraxa, make sure you have an Atali, a Toxrill, I don't know, Galta and Mavrin, mix it up, get some other stuff in there. Very important. Also, if you're currently playing Reanimator in Standard and you do not have Toxrill the Corrosive in your sideboard, you are leaving money on the table. Just saying. Anyway.
It's so true,
That
though.
was a bit of a soapbox, but trust me, it's the best. It's one of those situations where you're like, man, I really need to bring in some board wipes for this. Like, well, guess what? There's a gigantic slug board wipe you can be reanimating right now. And you should. He's great.
Call 1-800-SLIME-YOU. That's 1-800-SLIME-YOU.
Exactly. Gotta get slime, baby. Slime time. Anyway, I'm a firm believer in Toxrill. If you're not reanimating Toxrill, but you are reanimating things, you're missing out. Just saying.
So what you're saying is, at MTG Vegas, it's not going to be about Elmo Norn and 5 Rexia Street. It's going to be Toxrill and the Slugs.
You know what's funny? I own 2 copies of Toxrill. I don't have him in any of my commander decks. Just because in Commander, if Toxrill hits the field, like the level of ire that you will inevitably get. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Anyway,
I have a challenge for you.
fire. What do you got?
This is what I want you to do before Vegas. You have 4 days.
Okay, I got my notepad.
I want you to acquire 100 sleeves. Okay, 100 sleeves.
Yeah, easy.
Toxrill, stick into one of those sleeves. And then I want you to find 20 mana rocks that can be Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Worn Power Stone, Hedron Archive, Mind Stone, Dark Ritual. Just find 20 mana rocks to stick into this list.
Okay.
And then with the remaining 69 cards, nice, I want you to put in, wait for it. You ready? Sorry, 79. Yeah, it'd be 79. With the remaining 79.
10 plus nice. Okay.
Nice, plus 10. Only swamps. And I don't want you to tell anyone about the deck. I just want you to only have the deck to ramp out Toxrill. That's it. Nothing else. Say nothing else and show up to a table with it. That
So Toxrill's in the command zone? Is that
Yeah.
the idea?
It's 20 pieces of it's 20 rocks. The rest is land. And just
all I'm
Toxrill.
doing is gonna slide this table. That's it. Like, this deck is incapable. I'm gonna hit my land drop every freaking turn. So if you keep killing it, I'm gonna keep paying the tax. Oh, that is the memeiest deck. I love it. All right.
That is my challenge to you.
All right, noted. I'll see what I can do. Well, the funny thing is, too, the moment we have the Rule Zero conversation, like, all right, what commanders am I bring? I'm bringing Toxrill. Oh, I'm gonna have to up my power level. Ah, if you couldn't, that'd be great.
That's the point, though. Think of how great Vegas will be. Man, who's this guy playing Toxrill to every table? Why is he got to turn 4 Toxrill?
The idea of 79 swamps. Not even any islands. Nope. 100% swamps. And you know me, too. I'm going to make them white bordered swamps just to really piss people off.
Please do. Please do.
That's the dumbest idea. I'm so here for it. Okay.
And that's what MTG Vegas is all about.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, things are gonna get ridiculous. And knowing my luck, I'm gonna get the turn 1 Soul Ring too. So everybody's gonna assume that
I'm here for
it. Ultimate threat.
I'm here for it.
You know what? I'm cool with this. And I just need as many. Okay, so if you, dear viewer, dear listener, have any slug tokens and you're going to be in Vegas, I may need your help. Because hopefully I will be making slugs.
Help me slug me one Kenobi, you're my only hope.
Gross. All right. Yeah.
Gross, yes, but funny. It's on point.
It is going to be funny, yes. It's going to be quite funny and delightful. All right. Yeah. That's the most ridiculous deck idea I think I've ever heard. I love it. All right.
And it's going to get even better. I got to ask, though. So, like, you know, World Championships is happening. We touched on that. Playing lots of Commander. We've hit on that. Obviously, meeting with friends, meeting with new friends, getting to play with new people, all kinds of side. Is there one thing in particular about going to Vegas you were excited for amongst everything that's happening?
Wow. Honestly, establishing and kind of reaffirming, you know, a lot of the connections that I've been fortunate enough to make over the last couple of months is definitely up there. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people. It's funny, in Philly, I was like really green to the whole convention experience, and I really didn't know what I was doing. You know, I introduced myself to a handful of people, made a couple of good connections, but really, I was very self-conscious, and I didn't connect as kind of assertively as I wish I had. In Minneapolis, I got a little bit better, but the truth is, in Vegas, I'm hopefully going to get even better. Because believe it or not, some streamers who spend a lot of time talking to a camera, where they can hear people talking back in real time and are not in the same physical space as people, can be awkward when you're meeting them in person.
This is true.
So, yeah, this is a thing. This is absolutely a thing. And that's something that I'm working to overcome, because the reality is we all have this game in common. Everybody wants to see each other. And I know, like, one of the things that I realized, like, when I kind of let myself just be present in the space with other people who are as invested as I am, we all get along and we have a really good time. And it very much feels like, you know, being with the right people. Like, it feels like being part of, I don't know, it's being part of a very real community that is really, really cool. And honestly, the biggest part that I'm looking forward to is that sense of community, and, at the risk of sounding super schmoopy, family that comes with being in that kind of an environment. And that's the biggest thing. you know, whether or not I get to play a game with any particular individual, whether or not I get to be there when, you know, the finals of the World Championship happens, whether or not I get to see, you know, any particular event, the reality is, I'm just glad to be present in the same space with so many amazing people. Like in Philly, I basically spent the entire time hanging out and playing Commander with people.
Nice. That's the best
That's what I
stuff.
did the whole time. And I remember thinking, like, man, I didn't really do X, Y, or Z. I didn't really go see this. I didn't even get a cheesesteak while I was there. You know, it's just like,
Okay,
I
we're
know,
getting
I
a
was
deep
messing it up.
dish.
I mean, okay.
I know
Hey,
people don't go
whatever.
to Vegas for a deep dish, but let me tell you, I guess this is slightly off topic into topic.
Oh, man, you're
So
good.
in Chicago, there's a restaurant, Giordano's. They make the best deep dish pizza. They have a restaurant location in Vegas.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm definitely down to clown for something like that.
perfect.
But yeah, so for me, the biggest thing is, yeah, I'm getting to see a lot of people that I haven't had a chance to see in a long time. And the other thing that's kind of funny is I've made a lot of friends um, in the months since like Philadelphia and since Minnesota who like were there, but I didn't know them when I was
Mhm.
there. And now I've had an opportunity to play some games with them. We've, you know, been in a lot more contact. And I feel like I've become fairly close with a lot of creators who I have now like a direct connection and an actual friendship with who I just didn't before. And it's like, well, we've been in the same physical space, I guess, but did that really count, you know? And now getting a chance to actually hang out now that we know each other. I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's gonna be so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. And I did actually just before this recording, I purchased my tickets to the slumber party so I can hear you know, DJ Elijah Wood spin some tracks. And the reality is, yes, while I'm very excited to hear how that goes, that as a content creator, you know, it's my job is to be plugged into the happenings of Magic.
Mhm.
That party, yes, it's a party, yes, it's going to be fun, that's also a networking opportunity. You know,
True.
like some of the biggest names in the entire industry are going to be in that room. It's like it's silly not to also be in that room. You know, and so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. But how about you, man? What is it that's going on in that weekend that you're especially jazzed for? Is there any particular highlight that you can't wait to jump into?
It's just to play games. So, uh, for me, there are a few people like yourself included that I really want to get to meet because I haven't had the chance. Because it's either I've been at one event, they've been at another, and the timing's
Mm-hmm.
just not worked out. So it's finally getting to meet the people that I consider some of my closest close friends in the Magic space, and getting to just see in person and play some games and have a weekend. And I just
Heck
love
yes, dude.
getting to see the community. It's gonna be amazing. I did sign up like event wise. I signed up for the Gavin Verhey secret draft, I think it is,
Mm-hmm.
on Saturday. So that's like the one thing to me. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to this event. That's my thing. Otherwise, it's gonna be Commander, hang out, food, and relax.
Yes, dude. That's where it's at. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. So no, and as far as like lunches and dinners go, I don't have any plans. So like rather than just eating a bunch of con food, yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah. We're
I
gonna
don't know.
we're gonna figure
We're
out
gonna
stuff.
find stuff. We're gonna make stuff happen. Hell yeah, dude. Can't wait. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Yeah.
It's fine. It's not even that far. Like it's literally in 5 days. Like
hmm
we get through this weekend. I work Monday, Tuesday. I fly out Wednesday. I know you fly on Friday, but like,
Yeah, I'm flying out early Friday, and then I'm gonna red eye like crazy Sunday night. That's my yeah.
oh
No,
yeah,
I'm
okay.
leaving. My flight leaves at like 11 p.m. Sunday, and yeah, oh yeah. Hopefully, I can sleep on the plane. We'll see.
Oh, I'm staying till
So,
Monday. But
heads up, everybody. I probably will not be streaming that Monday. Just at my usual time. Just that's probably not gonna happen. Just be aware.
yeah, you'll start like
Um,
5 minutes later, right?
but yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll be starting around 7:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like after my flight landed at like I don't know 6 a.m. or whatever.
Perfect. Just
Yeah,
live
I'll be
stream from
fine.
the
I'll be
car.
fine.
That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, IRL live stream of like, yeah, because I'm sure I failed to sleep on the plane, and so it's gonna be like my mom driving me home from the airport, like, "Hey, Chad, what up? How we doing,
Love it.
everybody? Vegas, baby."
Love it.
I'm gonna be slow sleepy. I'm gonna be so sleepy. I know it. Because honestly, and additionally, I have the good fortune. So a lot of members of Team Magic Jank, which is the stream team that I'm a part of, are going to be there as well. And a lot of us got, we all got like a B&B or
Nice.
like an Airbnb setup. And so they're going to be like 5 of us in the same little. It's like a 2-bedroom house that we all got.
Yeah, that's all
And
right.
I can't wait. It's gonna be a blast. But at the same time, these are friends who I've been working with for a while now and like collaborating with who a couple of them I've met in person before, but for the most part I haven't. And we're gonna be hanging out together in a house. How much sleep do you actually think is gonna happen in there? Like
None.
very little, exactly. So
Personal experience: when
yeah,
you stick a bunch of Magic content creators in a house, usually two things happen. Someone's cooking food, or you're playing Magic, and I don't know why it just defaults to those two modes. But
actually I
it's
like it
it's
though.
either someone's making food or you're playing Magic. I
Okay,
don't.
that makes sense.
Yeah, sustenance of
Well,
life
it's
and sustenance of mind. I guess I don't know.
that's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, and that's not counting. I mean, my plan is honestly to be at the convention center until someone physically escorts me out of the building. Like I'm going to, every day. Like so I'm going to be just surrounded by Magic people. And then as the party moves, I'm just going to go with it. Like I'm planning on just being, like where's LobbyCon? I don't know, like let's go find some games. That's one of those things. Like the Magic players just take over whatever city we're in. We just
It's
do,
true.
and it's awesome. Yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Yeah, and yeah, I don't plan on sleeping much.
Yeah,
I'll sleep some, of course, but
just
like,
the
yeah, do we have any
required
nine
2 hours
dollar
amount.
energy drinks? All right, let's go. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
2 hour nap, 4 hours commander, 2 hour nap, 4 hours commander, bounce in between.
hmm exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be so much Commander. And honestly, and the funny thing is too, when it comes to Commander, like the format is cool. I enjoy Commander for what it is. But the reality is it's become the communal language of casual Magic.
Yep.
And that's what I want to tap into. It's like the mechanics of Commander itself, is that really the best way to play? I don't know, but it's the way everybody's playing and that's where I want to be. You know? It's kind of like, is World of Warcraft the best MMO? Like, I don't know, but that's where all my friends are. So that's where I'm going to be? And honestly, it's a beautiful thing. So I am so glad that people who play Magic the way I do, where it's casual, it's loose, off the cuff, where the purpose is
Mhm.
fun and connection. I'm glad there's a format that has, really locked onto that and captured that community in a very meaningful way. Because before, I remember playing with like the Type 1 ban list, which is Legacy
Yeah.
now. With my friends, playing with janky uncommons that we happened to draw out of packs. And like, yeah, our power level was all pretty similar, but like I couldn't just walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey guys, you want to play some?" Because I was doing 60 card stuff where like Mirror Golem was my win con. Like that's not a thing.
Oh, miracle. Oh,
I
those
know,
were
right?
days. Those were days.
Well, and interestingly enough, cards like Blatant Thievery even existed back then. And Blatant Thievery is a 7-drop that says for each opponent you gain control of one permanent they control. So you just steal all the opponent's stuff. Well, in a 1v1, 7 mana for that effect is terrible.
Yeah.
But the moment you have a 4-player pod or more, as we often found back in the day, that became excellent. So they were clearly designing cards with multiplayer in mind before any kind of formal multiplayer thing existed. Like they knew people were playing it that way.
Mhm.
And I just love the fact that Commander has captured that and become a very good conduit for that kind of an experience. And I'm planning on bringing every Commander deck I own, which is at this point 12 or 13.
Fair.
And yeah, like I said, I have plenty to borrow, and I'm going to be carrying them around in a big old backpack the whole time. Um,
I'm
Also,
in
by the way,
similar.
everybody, yeah, yeah. And also, fun fact: if you see me out in Vegas, I do have stickers. They turned out a little bit
Oh,
smaller than I planned, but you can get a little pig with a
yo,
hammer.
I love
Yeah,
that.
on your stuff. Yeah, so they're small, but they even fit on sleeves, which I think is kind of neat. So
Hey, that
anyway,
works.
yeah. All right.
Hey.
Anyway, plug, shameless plug. But yeah,
Well,
I'm excited, man. Yeah,
I was gonna say,
I'm
speaking
excited.
of plugs, like if anyone's in Vegas after you're listening to here, find us. We'll be there. It is
100%. Oh, and we're definitely going to be spending quite a bit of time together. At least I'm planning. I'm planning
oh
on
yeah,
hanging out with you, man.
I
I'm
plan to
very
hang
much
out with
looking
you.
forward to it.
I'm
Hell yeah,
like
dude.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna bounce between a few groups, but I'll be walking around the whole
of course.
day. I know like EK and I are basically not gonna leave each other's side because like the long or the short is EK and I were supposed to meet like 5 years ago. well, not quite 5, 4, like 4 years ago, just before COVID started. And as soon as
Oh,
we were
sure.
supposed to meet up, all the flights got canceled. So we've been like planning what convention we're finally meeting up at. And he was like, this is the one. So where I'm at EK's at, and then everyone else will be around. So there will be
Nice.
no shortage of people around.
That
But
sounds like
yeah,
a really cool setup. Yeah.
I'm excited. But yeah,
Love it.
listeners, if you could take your favorite commander deck to Vegas, what would it be? And let us know in the comments. Will you be at Vegas? Will we have a chance to see you, jam a game with you? Will the landlords be able to take you down in a two-headed giant fashion as the dragons of the landlords take the front stage to win? Or are we gonna get ourselves plummeted and broken winged? Because those are cards in a format that people don't play, and they really should.
Fair.
Hmm.
Honestly, green has destroy target creature. That's a thing.
Yeah,
And it's not just Beast Within, although that's a thing. But yeah.
pretty
I don't
close
know,
though.
Plummet. It's yeah. Honestly, Broken Wings is genuinely a very good card. Like it's
Yeah,
I
like
think it's
instant
highly underrated.
speed hits enchantment artifact or creature with flying. Like, oh, that's the thing. It kills an Atraxa.
It does. Yes, Broken Wings, or I don't know, Atraxa's Fall can kill Atraxa.
Yeah,
Appropriately enough. Yeah.
yeah. But
Honestly,
yeah,
actually, it's funny. So many good sideboard cards like that totally work in Commander. Yeah,
and they should be in the main board. But you know,
underrated. Agreed.
speaking of things to play, things to find, things to do, Ham, where can the fine people find you?
Absolutely. So, well, I'm going to be in Vegas. My flight's going to be landing Friday morning, so I'm going to be at the convention center. Hopefully, starting Friday afternoon, well into the evening, and then all day Saturday, all day Sunday. So you can find me out there. Also, I will be hanging out with Team Magic Jank. We actually do have a table at I believe, the Arena booth on Sunday. So we're going to be doing a little meet and greet. So hopefully, we'll see you over there. Also, yeah, other than that, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/hamhawks42. I'm streaming in the mornings, Monday through Friday, starting at around 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm trying to work that starting time back a little bit. So I'm starting even earlier, but, well, I haven't quite figured, I haven't quite gotten that into the routine yet, but I'm working on it. But yeah, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing Magic, all kinds of fun ways. I'm also over on Twitter, and I'm over on YouTube as well, doing individual card deep dives. And I recently started a playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, which I'm live streaming over on YouTube, which is a really good time actually. It's a lot of fun, but it's definitely a different kind of vibe than a lot of my usual content. But good
Hmm.
stuff. So Astros, how about you, man? Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me in Vegas next week as well. I'll be landing in on the
Yeah, buddy.
Wednesday and there from Thursday till the Monday. So if you want to get in the game, put me a line. Always happy to. But otherwise, you can find me at Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Astralsflame. Always doing the standard best of 3 content with a little bit of Explorer on the side and Commander stuff coming out pretty soon too. As soon as I'm back from Vegas, 2 new YouTube series are going to be starting up. My Commander Tapped Out and Talk About series, which you'll be able to hear about what you should tap out and talk about in Commander, like why you should play Dragons in Commander. And as well, the start of the best of 3 series, how you can get into best of 3 and why it's actually for you, even if you're playing only best of 1, because that's for everyone. But yeah,
Agreed.
with that, friends, your landlords are getting ready. They're already packed. Their shirts are ready. We're going to get ready for our next listing, which is going to be in Vegas. And until
Yeah, buddy.
then, we are your landlords.